Hello, this is Nystar for Queer As Cat. I'm making this video by request. Someone on a previous video commented asking me about the definitions of transmasculine and transfeminine and what I thought of them. So I'm going to try and keep this short. My understanding of transmasculine is someone who is fab or female assigned at birth, but who identifies as more male than female. It's often used as a catch-all phrase for fabs who identify as masculine of center, meaning that they identify as more masculine than feminine, but they don't identify as males. And transfeminine is the opposite. So someone who is transfeminine is a MAB, or it sounds funny, MAB, male assigned at birth, who identifies as more feminine than masculine. And this is also used as a catch-all phrase for a MAB who identifies as feminine of center. So more feminine than masculine, but not actually as a female. It's important to note that while these words sound and look like adjectives that describe gender expression, they're actually gender identities in themselves. They do not describe gender expression, which is something completely different. Okay, so now I need to put in a huge disclaimer. This is my opinion on these terms, if I'm even allowed to have one, since I don't identify as either of them. But this is my opinion. Please do not quote me or anything, okay? So, personally, I have mixed feelings about these terms. I mean, I think they are great. I think the more words, the more gender identities, named gender identities, that are out there, the better, because there are thousands and thousands and thousands of different genders out there. So every time there's a new word that can describe one of them and help people to communicate their identity, I think that's a great thing. So to the people who do identify as transmasculine or transfeminine, yes, awesome. I have nothing against that. My problem is with the people who misuse these words or overly use these words. So when I say misuse or overly use, I'm talking about someone who, with the best intentions, uses this word to describe someone else, not their own, uses this word to describe someone else whose gender identity they don't actually know. So they look at someone's gender expression. Well, I'll give you an example, and this is just an example. It's something that I've come across, I've seen. And I'm sorry for the cat in my face. Look at the camera at least, Faye. Look at the... For example, a really butch, and I don't particularly like this word, but if I use it, you know what I mean. So, a particularly butch, female-bodied person walks by. And then someone else refers to that person who walked by as transmasculine. And this person is using this word with the best possible intentions. They're trying to acknowledge what they see as masculinity in that person while not making the blatant assumption that they're FTM or that they actually identify as male instead of female. So they have good intentions when they use this word, but yeah, it's full of assumptions. Like, this word isn't an adjective. You can't just use it to describe someone's gender expression or anything. It's an actual gender identity. So, in describing that person as transmasculine, one, what if that person doesn't identify as masculine at all? What if that person is agender or genderqueer or something else? And to them, their identity includes no masculinity at all, or at least they don't put that label on themselves, and yet someone else is putting that label on them. With the best intentions, but still, it's wrong. And as I said, this word is not an adjective, and it's not used to describe gender expression, which is completely separate from gender identity. The two do not always line up. But often when I hear people use this word trying to be inclusive when referring to someone else, not even themselves, they're often using it based on gender expression. Furthermore, my other problem with this word is that, with these words, is that they're really, really binary. And they have the assumption that femininity equals female, masculinity equals male. So, like, it assumes that you can't be feminine and still identify completely as a male, or you can't be masculine and identify completely as a female. And okay, another disclaimer. Maybe it doesn't imply this, but to me this is what it does imply. And yeah, this is my opinion. It's just, I don't know, it gets messy, these two terms. When used by someone to identify their own gender as a gender identity, I think it's great. I have absolutely no problems with it. I mean, how could I? Putting a name to your gender identity, that's everyone's right. But when someone else takes the word and uses it to describe someone else, whose gender identity they don't know, it's just full of assumptions, and I don't like it. But yeah, I have no beefs or qualms with the word itself. And again, all of this, sorry, all of this is just my opinion. I don't identify as either transmasculine or transfeminine. I can't. And yeah, so opinion only. Take it as worth a grain of salt. I would love to hear other people's opinions. I mean, my opinion isn't set in stone. My definition may be even completely wrong. I am completely open to hearing other people's opinions. I would love to hear other people's opinions, and I would love to discuss these terms if you'd like to talk about it with me. But anyways, that's all for this video. It's actually longer than I intended. I hope this helped out the person who asked this question. See you later.